Hi guys. Okay, so I actually came outside. I'm sitting on my back porch, right? Here's my back door. Because it's quiet out here, it's actually very nice and my kids are in bed. Um, I just wanted to talk to you about postpartum depression because I've had big plans to make a blog post out of it and it's just not going to happen. And then I said, I'll do a YouTube channel, and that didn't happen. So these videos are easy, and I wanted to encourage any women who are going through postpartum depression and give them tips. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Katie, and I have had 6 kids, and I had postpartum depression very badly, especially with my first child. And I remember asking people for advice, and I felt like nobody really had anything solid or good for me to learn from them. So I wanted to encourage you if you struggle with that and let you know that I have found some major relief. To give you an idea of how bad my postpartum depression has been, I'm a pastor's wife, and we used to tell people after I had a baby, like, leave us alone. We'd even put a note on the door that was like, go away. So it was kind of like I was bearing down and getting ready for that again after having my 6th baby. And it didn't happen this time, and I'm so blessed and so excited. And so I thought I would share with you some tips that I think really made all the difference. The first tip is rest. And I mean like crazy rest, exaggerated rest. I thought, okay, well, if I lay around most of the day and don't do too much, then my postpartum depression won't be as bad, but it wasn't enough. So what I had to do is establish like a cave in my house, and I did not leave my cave. For that first week, I barely left. It was a nice, dark, quiet room. Something else that really, really helps is to have your husband be on board with this. And for men that have seen their wives go through it a couple times, they're usually willing to do whatever it takes. So my husband took a week off work and was home, and he just handled everything for me. So I would feel my anxiety coming on, and I would tell him, I've got to go back downstairs, run into my cave. We all called it my cave. In fact, my niece would come over and go, can I come to your cave? So anyways, so that is my number one thing. Get a room somewhere that you can be by yourself with the baby, resting, laying down, and just literally do that for the first week. I think that was the number one thing that made the biggest difference in my recovery. And to give you an idea of how much I struggled with postpartum depression, I actually had my placenta encapsulated and would take these placenta pills every day. And I'm supportive of it, but it's nasty. I'd like burp and say that was placenta. So, yeah, I didn't want to do that again, and I wasn't sure if it helped me or not. So that gives you an idea of how desperate I was. I remember being online looking at antidepressants. I never ended up taking any, but just I wanted to do anything I could to get out of that. So anyways, first thing, get rest. If plan for that, ask your relatives if they can help you with the kids so that you can stay in a room. Next thing is I would take crazy amounts of B12. And so I'm sure you guys have heard of those emergency packets. They have large amounts of vitamin C and vitamin B12. So I would take 3 of those a day, morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that really helped with my recovery, with my mood. Something else is I would eat a lower carb diet because our blood sugar is actually related to our mood and how we feel. So we need to make sure that we're not eating large amounts of carbs and things like that. So when people would bring meals, I would say my preference is protein and veggies. And so that was nice. People really blessed us with meals, and I just wanted meat and veggies basically. And that makes a huge difference. If you're eating a bunch of cake and cookies or even like peanut butter and jellies and things like that, I think it hinders your recovery, and I think it makes you feel worse. So that is my third tip. So 3 tips. 1, rest like crazy, especially those first 7 days. Don't leave your house. Don't even, I didn't even talk to anybody on the phone. Just get your husband on board. Tell him, honey, I think this is really going to work. And you have to explain to your kids too, this is just 1 week of mama's life, and it'll make all the difference. The second thing is large amounts of vitamin C and B12, so I just would do the emergencies 3 times a day. And then lastly, lower carb, high veggie, high protein, high meat, eggs, things like that. Stay away from sugar, it just makes your mood crash. And best of all, you can talk to your Creator and Lord about it. I had some of my most special times with the Lord in my depression, because we often cling to the rock when the waves are hitting. And so cling to Him, read your word. I know too, finding some good worship music helps. But I'm telling you, I didn't have any sobbing sessions like I normally do, that high rate of anxiety. And so thank you to Jessica Cannell for telling me over and over, make sure you rest. And I will gladly pray for you. You are welcome to message me. And just don't think it's hopeless. It took me 6 times, but I'm recovering very well. My baby's 10 weeks old, and I'm loving it. And something else that helped me was having a schedule for my baby with their feedings, so that I didn't feel like if I had a schedule, I felt like there was some sort of order to my day, and it made me feel less chaotic. So I recommend that as well. Okay, see you later. Let me know if you have any questions.